Today we're going to talk about rational numbers. This is section 5.1 in your book. First, let's talk about sets of numbers. You've learned about whole numbers before. These are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. You've also learned about integers. These look like whole numbers, but they can be positive or negative. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, etc. Today we're going to talk about rational numbers. And a rational number is any number that can be written as a over b. So, for example, 4, 3/4, 0.5, 6.2, and 0.3 repeating. We can write 4 as 4, let's try that again, 4 over 1. So that's a over b, right? 3/4 is already written in this way. By the way, I forgot to mention a is an integer and b is an integer. 0.5, think about what 0.5 is. That'd be 1/2, right? 6.2 and 0.3 repeating, that's what this lesson's about. We're going to learn how to write these two as a over b, or as a fraction where the numerator and the denominator are both integers. Let me give you one more example. What if we have, let's see here, what if we have negative 5.5, negative 5.5? Well, this is negative. We need an integer over an integer. This is negative 11 halves. And we're going to talk about how to do this, how to make this transition from a decimal to a fraction in this lesson. Before we do that, though, let's talk about decimal places. So this is the ones place. This is the tenths place. This is the hundredths place. And this is the thousandths place. Say we have this number, 1.234, and we multiply it by 10. We multiply by 10, the tenths place is now in the ones place. So that's 12.34. If we multiply it by 100, the 100ths place is now going to be in the ones place. We'd move that decimal 2 spots down. So that'd be 123.4. And if we multiplied this number by 1,000, think what would happen there. We would move 1, 2, 3, which would take the thousandth place, and it is now in the ones place. That's 1,234. This is going to come in handy with today's lesson. So let's say you have a decimal like 0.125. I want you to take note of which place has a number that is not 0. What is the last place that has a number that is not 0? That place right there, which is what place again? Well, remember that's tenths, hundredths, that's thousandths place. So if I take this number, 0.125, and I multiply it by 1,000, I would move my decimal. I have 3 zeros. I'd move it 1, 2, 3 spots to the right, so that'd be 125. Now here's the way we make this a fraction. Notice I multiply by 1,000. So whatever number we have as our product, which is 125 over 1,000. So the numerator is whatever the product is, the denominator is whatever we multiplied by. So now we have a fraction, and this fraction can be simplified. So let's simplify this fraction now. 125, we're going to have a big factor tree here, I think, here. So this is going to be 5 multiplied by, let's see here, 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 30 is 150. So this is going to be 5 times 25. You can check my work on that. 25 is 5 and 5. Okay? And then 1,000, I need a little more room here for 1,000, I think. That's 1,000. 2 times 500. 500 is 2 times 250. 250 is 2 times 125, and I just did 125. This is 5 times 25, and 25 is 5 times 5. So there are the prime factors for 1,000. So let's rewrite this. 125 over 1,000. This is 5 times 5 times 5. 1,000. This is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5 times 5. 5 over 5 is going to cancel. 5 over 5 is going to cancel, and 5 over 5 is going to cancel. Remember, there's always a 1 up top here. You don't always have to show it, but there is always a 1 up top there in the numerator. So we have 1 over 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So 1/8 is what 0.25 is, 0.125 is as a fraction. All right, so following that same method, see if you can turn 0.48 into a fraction. So pause the video now and see if you can do that. Pause the video now. Okay, so as we work this out, I noticed that 8 is the digit I have that is the smallest digit, and that is in the hundredths place. So I need to multiply this by 100. So 0.48 multiplied by 100 gives me 48. So now the fraction I'm going to have is 48, because that was my product, over whatever you multiply by, which is 100. So there's my fraction. I just need to simplify the fraction. I notice 48 and 100 have a common factor of 2. So I'm going to divide both these by 2. And I get 24 over 50. I have another common factor of 2. Divide that by 2 again. Divide that by 2 again. I get 12 over 25. 12 25ths. 25 is only divisible by 5. 12 is not. So there you have your simplified fraction. 0.48 simplifies to 12 25ths. All right, one last problem here. Negative 9.64. Please express this decimal as a fraction. I will give you the answer, but I will not show you the method to get the answer. So in order to get full credit on this, if I take it up for a grade, I need you to have your work shown here. So please pause the video now. See if you can express this decimal as a fraction. Pause the video now. All right, here are the solutions. Any of these will do. Negative 241 over 25, or you can put the negative sign out front if you don't want to put it in the numerator. Negative 241 over 25, or 241 over negative 25. All of these are the same thing. The negative can go in the numerator, the denominator, or out front. But as long as you have only one negative sign. Or you could write it as a mixed number, negative 9 and 16/25. So if you have a question on this tomorrow in class, please ask it. We can go over it, but you need to have your method shown, not just the work here. So please back the video up if you need to and figure out what you need to do to get this answer correct. See you tomorrow.